My people, today we are diving into a great one. Forensics crime scene detective. If your girl knows anything, it is definitely crime. Have I ever been in jail? No. Have I ever been accused of crime? Absolutely not. But NCIS, Broadchurch, CSI Crime, First 48, Snapped, True Crime, Law and Order, your girl has seen them all, season to season. So this right here, we getting 100s. Accuracy is key. Let's go. This is me all day. Investigation. LKA Laboratory Mains, 8 a.m. You arrived at the LKA Laboratory to start your workday. Go to the file cabinet and select a case file. This is truly going to test if I can follow directions. Interact with the filing cabinet. Select the first tutorial case to learn about forensic procedure. You are rated on accuracy. That's right. Crimes don't get solved if you make mistakes. Okay. Tutorial 1. Let's go ahead and select the case. Now it says case progression. Interact with the computer to open your email. We have an inbox that tells us about case information. And it looks like reading this information, we also have a send tab where we are able to send analyzed data to our colleagues. Sometimes they may not reply. Interact with the filing cabinet and press C to close our cases. And then we will be rated based on our accuracy. Higher ratings unlock new cases. Got it. We are locked in, ladies and gentlemen. We are locked in. So let's push tab and look at our case file. This tutorial teaches you about crime scene photography, collecting and documenting digital evidence, and analyzing it. All right. Is this a sketch? This is a witness statement. A drug dealer has been caught. At his flat, any digital devices he may have used to communicate with his clients need to be collected. Locate, photograph, collect, and analyze the devices. You got it. Let's get to the crime scene. And I'm assuming this is, yep, crime scene. Press E to travel to the crime scene. Visit the crime scene now to collect evidence. And then we're going to come back to the laboratory and analyze the evidence that we've collected at the scene. Perfect. I am so ready for this. LKA training site. Okay, so this is our training. 8:12 a.m. You have arrived at the LK training site to learn about the collection of digital devices. Take a look around and interact with the yellow hints. Movement. C to crouch and C to lie down. Okay, lying down is new. Hold control to left, right, forward, and backward. Okay, we can lean to look at different perspectives. Let's try that now. So we're crouched and we're laying down. And then we are leaning forward, backward, side to side. Evidence photography. Always document evidence before collecting it. That is true. Where is our gloves? Because I don't see any gloves in that case. Pick up the markers from the tool case and place one next to each piece of evidence. Take photos. Press the right mouse button to enter the camera mode. Left mouse button to take the picture. And then X to exit. Got it. And then I saw one more marker up here. Picking up evidence. Pick up portable evidence like digital devices with E. Always place a marker and take a photo before collecting. Very true. Okay, let's begin. Looks like we have our case here. So let's go ahead and open up. First thing we need to do is get our gloves, which I don't see we have any gloves in this case. Error number 1. We need those gloves. Nobody is collecting evidence at the crime scene without gloves because what? Fingerprints. Okay, we're gonna pick up the evidence markers. Hopefully in the full release version of this game, which I do believe this is slated to come out July 13th. So just in a few weeks here, I hope they have implemented gloves. Okay, I do see electronic device down here. Gonna go ahead and put our evidence marker down. Anything else we see in here? A lot of trash, a lot of bottles, but nothing I can see that we can interact with. I wish more games would use less set dressing and more things that we can interact with, even if it's just to open drawers that don't really need to be opened. Looks like somebody smashed this to pieces. If I know anything, we will recover that data. Underneath the bed, I don't see anything here. All right, let's continue. I also always heard that crime scene investigators go in pairs. That may not be true in the real world, but just for safety measures, because, you know, people sometimes return to the scene of the crime. Looks like we have another piece of evidence here. Looks like a password. We gotta take some pictures of that before we collect it, though. And then I see another device down here. Okay, I think we have one more room to look at because I didn't see anything else. Let's look under the table. Don't see anything. I'm surprised we're not collecting these cigarette butts, but again, this is a training site, so don't need to do that. I'm not seeing anything in the bathroom. Let's practice our little lean here. Huh. Huh. And nothing. Okay. Okay, before I pick up the camera, I did do another round in each of the rooms just to make sure I didn't miss anything, because when you're looking for evidence, you need to be thorough. I didn't see anything, so we're gonna go ahead and pick up this camera and continue on. Capturing the evidence. Okay, we're gonna zoom in a bit. And I think now we can collect the evidence. Snoopy. Let's check our file. So we have a Corellia smart device, a K-Super 23. Then we have the password. We have our digital smartphone, the Novaris N7. That's our Samsung right here. And we got our O1 Pro Orcha. This is the iPhone Pro Max. We're gonna get some information off of this. Okay, so this one looks like it's functional. This one's damaged. Hopefully there's a way we can recover the information. And then this one's also damaged. I'm assuming since we have a password, it's probably to the device that's still functional, but we shall see. Before we get out of here and go back to the lab, just because I'm a freak, I did do another run through of this apartment, but I didn't see anything. So we're gonna go ahead and head back to the lab. PA laboratory mates. And it looks like we have some mail. You have collected devices. The next step is to analyze all the devices. Okay, so it looks like we picked up everything at the scene. This whiteboard is an overview of your current investigation. The numbers shown correspond to the evidence marker numbers placed during your investigation photography. Okay, so this is a picture of the crime scene and then the photos that we took. Perfect. The case file. Press tab to open the case file. It contains all collected evidence, reports, and mail of the active case. Review it regularly, which we just did. So we have our briefing, the Jane Doe witness statement, our Corellia K Supra, Navaris N7, our Orcha 01 Pro. We have our password and the email just showing that we collected evidence. Before we start here, let's just look around. Looks like we have a projection station. Looks like we can do some analysis at some point. Fingerprints. Ooh. And I saw another room here too, over here. We have ballistics. Firearms. And I don't think we went in this room. Open chamber for fingerprints. Okay, so this is when they put adhesive and gas and then it sticks to the fingerprint, and so we can see it better on paper and bottles and things like that. So this will be cool once we get to that part of analyzing. And this is probably where we can do DNA samples. I'm really excited. Let's get through this part first, and then I'm sure we'll be introduced to the rest. Okay, let's start. I think we should work on the one that is fully functional first. And I think the password is to this functional phone, so that's just what we're gonna do. And starting decryption. Exporting. We have a file. Let's see what it says. Okay, so all we got from this was that there's a summary. It contains call logs and messaging history. I wish we were able to see a little bit more of that. That would have been nice, looking at either some of the message history or call logs. I know we're technically not going to be solving the case, but you know, analysis, we can look at some information, make it a little more interesting. We are in the desoldering process. So let's heat this up. I don't know if I could damage this or not, so we're gonna go slow. Ooh. I see some areas getting a little hot. Oh! The chip cooled off and reattached. Ah, great. Okay, so we have to do it again. Oops, seems like I didn't do it fast enough. And then we'll place it over here. Okay, and I'm assuming we just take this off of here and do the same process. I'm gonna go ahead and process the rest of these devices, and then we'll come back and look at what they have to say. Wow, I just completed everything, and decrypting when you do not have a password takes a ridiculous amount of time. So let's look at these reports. We did all that just for it to say the call logs and messaging history, and we don't get to see anything juicy. All right. Well, I believe we should go back and send these to our colleagues on the good old computer. Digital analysis. Probably sending this off to the detectives who are actually going to solve the case. Do we get any info back? We do. You have successfully analyzed the devices found at the crime scene. Woohoo! All right, it looks like we passed level 1. Want to conclude the case? The crime scene is clear and the lab reports are finalized. You've extracted every possible lead from this scene. Are you ready to close the case? Yes, let's get our score. You have successfully analyzed the devices found at the crime scene. Case closed. Yes! Okay. Your girl still got it. Crime scene evidence, 100 out of 100. Analysis, 100 out of 100. And then solving, 100 out of 100. So we did very well. A+ team. We did this. And we did it together. Now, let's move on to tutorial number 2. This tutorial is an introduction to collecting and analyzing fingerprints. A number of fingerprints need to be collected and analyzed so we can establish who lives in each room. Witness statement: 2 people are reported to be living in this flat. You need to locate fingerprints to confirm the identity of both habitants. James Doe. Here's a fingerprint. And John Doe. Here is another fingerprint. We are back at the training lab, 8:23 a.m. You have arrived at the LKA training site to learn about collecting and analyzing fingerprints. Take a look around and interact with yellow hints. Finding fingerprints. Pick up a flashlight from the tool case. With it in your hand, move through the crime scene and aim at surfaces. The light makes fingerprints visible. Once you find a fingerprint, press the right mouse button to enter placement mode and press the left mouse button to place the flashlight next to it. Tap E to adjust the flashlight and aim it at the fingerprint. The fingerprint stays highlighted and is ready for extraction. Okay. We don't want to extract the fingerprint just yet. I think we need to evidence marker this, right? I'm thinking. Pick up the camera and take a picture of this. We're also going to take a picture of our bottle here. Okay, I think that's good. All right, we collected it. Now let's keep looking for fingerprints. I went through the house again, just like we did the last time, looked at all the rooms again, and I didn't find any additional evidence. It's really hard to tell because when you're looking for fingerprints, they could literally be anywhere. So I don't know, but I did go through and I looked through again. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we're good to go. We are back in the lab. Let's see if we have any emails. Nothing. All right. We're going to start with the fuming station. Hopefully we can get a fingerprint off of this bottle. All right, fingerprint found. Let's collect our results. Do we need to collect this? Nope, we're just placing evidence. Okay, so we'll put the fuming hood back down. This definitely matches, so we're going to export. And let's look at the other fingerprint. And we shall see that these match. You can tell by these limo rings. I want to say it's a match. We can see like in the loops, the center here, it's a match. So let's pick up these results. Open up our, we got a match. James Doe, thumb, recognition. And then we got a match for John Doe, thumb, recognition. Now let's take our findings to our colleagues. Did we do good? Tell me I got 100%. Fingerprint analysis. Look in our inbox. Is this gonna be one of those times where they don't tell us anything? Let's send in our analysis. Are we gonna get a report this time? We got an email. You have correctly matched the fingerprints in both rooms to the correct person. We love that. Want to conclude the case? The minimum requirements have been met, but there are still undiscovered leads. Do you want to close the case anyway? The only other place that we were not able to get a print is in this bathroom. And it is crazy that I just can't find it. Are there also like 0 hints in this game? I could be looking around in this build forever looking for this print. I really want to know where it is. What am I missing? Okay, so I've been looking for like an hour and I just can't find it. I don't know what's going on. I would really love to find that print, but at this point, I think we're just gonna close the case and move on. I will just take the L on this one. You have correctly matched the fingerprints in both rooms to the correct person. 66 out of 100. 3 prints, 1 general, crime scene photos 4 out of 4, evidence quality 100 out of 100, fingerprint analysis 61 out of 100. Because there was another print. So these I all got right, but there was another print, and that's why I got 76 out of 100, because in the bathroom somewhere there was a print. I think that is going to do it for me for this one. I had a good time. I did have a good time. So far, I would say that I didn't have any surprises. This game gave me exactly what I thought it was going to give me. Crime scene detection. I do feel like there are some things that could be a little bit more in depth, I think. Having gloves for one, letting us see what the evidence looks like, you know, instead of just saying call logs and messages. If we could like see some of those things to make things a little bit more interesting. I think having the different rooms works well. The tutorials work well for this game. Everything was good. I liked it. I love games like this, and I just think that my skills aren't as sharp as I thought they were. Thank you all for tuning in. This was another adventure. My name is Nyla. Remember, curiosity over hype. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.